Hello, I'm out here in the woods to cut down this tree, and I'm using my Helco axe. A few things about cutting trees down with an axe. I want to tell you up front, I am not a professional. I got into tree cutting just for the exercise, and so anything that I'm going to teach in this video is not because I've had expert training. I've probably fallen about 175 trees with an axe, and it was all out in the woods, out where it was not possible for it to hit a house or anything like that. So remember all of that while you watch this. And I would guess if I leave this recording on, there are going to be times where I probably cut a tree down and it's not going to fall the way that I want it to fall. That happens. I don't have it down as a science, and so I'm still learning as I'm doing this on a semi-regular basis. I usually like to cut 2 or 3 trees down a week, more if I can get to them, but that's usually what I'm aiming to try to do. And so the tree that we're cutting down today is very much on a hillside, and so my goal is just to let it fall the direction it's naturally going to want to fall. Even though this tree, it does have some back lean, because I'm on such an angle, I'm pretty confident that it's going to fall this direction, and that's the way that I'm going to cut it, or attempt to cut it. And so what I first want to do is kind of similar to what you would do with a chainsaw. You want to put in a good undercut first, and so I'll go ahead and start knocking some of the chunks out, and hopefully explain a little bit as I do. But I want to try to keep it as straight across as possible, because when I do my back cut, I want it to be straight as well. So I'll just start swinging and knocking this out. This is a pretty big axe. It's a 4.5 pound axe. So there's a little bit of puts torque on you when you swing it. So what I like to do as I cut is I like to come down with my cut, and then come up with my cut, come down, come up, and just start working my way around. This axe, I probably knocked down about 35 or 40 trees with it, and so it stays pretty sharp. One thing that you have to do, and this goes without saying, is you have to keep widening the notch. You can't just go straight in, because you're not going to get anything out of it. So as you cut, you're going to keep making that notch wider. Now, the key, this is the most important thing that I can tell you, it is absolutely essential that you leave these sides together. If you're cutting this is an okay sized tree. I've cut much bigger trees with an axe than this one. But the thing, you want to make sure these sides stay in place, because they're going to control the direction the tree falls. As you start cutting a tree, there's a temptation to cheat. And what I mean by that is, when you start getting back into the inside of the tree, you're not going to make as big a cuts as you were when you first started. So the temptation becomes, man, I can knock half of that tree out pretty fast if I cut this side, and half if I cut it out this side. Well, that's true, but then you're going to lose a lot of the control about where it's going to fall. And so it's absolutely critical not to take out all of the sides. You want to leave a good solid side on each side and let that hinge work in your favor. Like I said, this tree has a back lean to it, but we're so much on an angle, I don't think I'll have much trouble at all getting it to go that direction. That's really the direction I want it to go. So you just keep beating and banging on this tree as you go. Like I said, I like to do a kind of a down and then an up, and a down and an up, just to keep working my way back into it. Brush to knock down here a little bit. Now I can start working my way this side. I'm getting a little bit at an angle this way, so I want to kind of probably all the further I want to take that side back. Center of the tree is starting to get kind of soft, and it's dead in the top, so that makes sense. Typically, when you see a lot of death at the top, you get into cutting inside of them, sometimes there can be huge holes that are there. So it's not too surprising to see the inside of this one kind of breaking down. Maybe just similar to the back now. Hopefully it'll be somewhat straight. Try not to mess with too much underbrush if I can avoid it. Pretty good idea. You can just practice to learn to swing both ways. Because there will be times you're just not going to be able to use your dominant hand. So having that ability is a good thing. I want to keep cleaning this front side out just a little bit. I've got the back side started, so the hardest part of releasing that is getting that back side started, and then I'll move to the forward a little bit and clean it up a little bit, and then I'll finish it off by coming in on the back side. The good thing about falling a tree with an axe also is whenever you're falling a tree with a chainsaw, you can't hear the tree because of the chainsaw. But with an axe, as you're getting to the point where the tree's about to fall, you'll start hearing the tree. Start popping, start cracking. And that's a pretty good sign. Hey, it's about to fall. So it's time to get out of the way. Time to see if you've done your job right or not. And we're getting close to that point now. Won't be long. I'm gonna move my phone out of the way just in case things don't go according to plan here. We do have a pretty good back lean. There's a chance it could go backwards. Down she comes. So, to get an idea, there was the tree. Where it bends there in about the middle was what was going backwards. So, it wasn't a big tree, but it fell downhill. It's in an easy location to get, and probably make some good firewood out of that. So, hopefully this was somewhat of an educational video, and I'll show you that hole I was talking about. That's where it's kind of getting some decay starting. It's kind of hard to There we go. Okay, there's where that decay was. You can see what was left across the back. Kind of served as the hinge point, and then trees laying down there on the ground. Hopefully I will be able to do some more of these that can kind of show you different settings, like a flat ground setting, or where a tree is a heavy lean in the direction I don't want it to fall. And what you can sometimes do as far as undercuts to get those to work in your favor. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, anything like that, leave them in the comment section. Be glad to hear anything that you might have to say. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.